It's the Slap. We gon' hit you with and Traps Radio Podcast.
Let's get it.
Powered by the Slap God, C. Austin, the DJ.
I want to ask you about one of my favorite songs, man. Can You Feel Me? Talk to me about that song, man. How that came about. You know what I'm saying? And such a dope song came to be, man. I had chills on my body when I heard that shit for the first time. You know what I'm saying? And how the song is just a timeless record. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's recorded a while back, but you can listen to that record right now like it just came out today. You know what I'm saying? The way that shit touched you. You know what I'm saying? So tell me about that, man. Like, just what was you experiencing when you wrote that record? Was you going through something? You know what I'm saying? Was it trying times? You know, so it sounded like you was going through it when you wrote it, man. And who you had singing on? I forgot my man now. You had singing on Rokel, man. Yeah. Good God, man. His voice is, man. And then even all these years later, being able to do a visual to it, you know what I'm saying? And hooking up with the great Boudin, man.
Yes, sir.
Boudin being able to bring the visual to life. Shout out Boudin.
Boudin, what up, though?
What up, though, bro? You know what I'm saying? Talk to me about that. Talk to the people about that, Fingerz, and just that record, man.
Can You Feel Me? Just to give it point blank, it started as a song of rebellion and ended up as a prayer. And what do I mean by that? The original "Can You Feel Me" was done to a Michael Jackson beat called "Can You Feel It." It was up tempo and was more militant and Rage Against the Machines, because my point is I felt like people were stigmatizing me based upon what they seen me like. Oh, this dude with two fingers, he must be incapable of doing a lot of stuff, or handicap, or whatever you want to call it. So I wanted to do a record that was a diss to that ideology, and the whole question was, can you feel me? But then after listening to that record and seeing the direction that I went into, I wanted to hit from a different tone. So the slower version, the one that everybody's familiar with the video, is actually a prayer in song form, because I stopped asking the world, can they feel me? And then I start asking God, can he feel me? I figure I'd take my complaints to the Creator. That's why when you hear the first lyric, it says, up in the sky, heaven cries while I'm writing my thoughts. It's like I'm writing all these thoughts to get an answer from God that I couldn't get from man, if that makes sense. That's why you listen to the song, I say I asked my Father, because I knew he'd understand my question, how I make it in this world that demands perfection. All of these are just different layers of a conversation I'm having with the Creator. And that's how it came out. Now, was I going through some stuff at that time? Just the development of an album that I call Cocoon, and really wanted to get out to the world and be exposed. And so
I remember that, man. I remember around that time, man, you and Joe Quan was going heavy promo with that Cocoon, man. Talk to the people about that, man.
Yeah, that was gonna be the first solo album since me doing the DBG stuff. It was gonna reintroduce me as a solo artist to the audience, and it never came about because I just never put it out. I finished the album, but then I'm so used to how the record industry works that I couldn't see anything independent where I had to go push it myself. So I just, kind of kept it in the chamber and never shot that motherfucker out, which I still may put stuff out now because then everything is digital. But
man, if you don't put that shit out, fam, you sitting on some shit, man. You know what I'm saying? You got Motor City Showgirls, Urban Showgirls,
yeah, so
all that shit, man. In a streaming era like this, that shit is dope.
I think in the process of Cocoon, I also grew as an artist, which I didn't know at the time. I only figured that out because people like G Unitas point stuff out like that out to me. But I grew as an artist to be able to work. It was almost like Cocoon was a transition to be able to do great music with NBG. And also, I went from Finger Man to Tony Two Fingers. It's always been an evolution every time I changed my name, because in the DBGs, I wasn't Finger Man, I was just Fingerz. But then as a solo artist, I wanted to be Finger Man because Fingerz was a boy who grew to a man. And then Tony Two Fingers was ultimately, my government name is Tony. And people describe me as Two Fingers if they don't know my name. So it just made sense, Tony Two Fingers.
That's a dope ass name, man. Tony Two Fingers, and it's catchy, you know.
Yeah,
if I was a nigga that didn't know nothing about music and nothing, and I heard that name, I would be interested. Like, if I was in the tape store and I seen yours, I would probably buy your shit over the net just off of the name. That's the type of nigga I ain't. I like different shit. You know what I'm saying?
So Can You Feel Me, or even after that, doing that record, I felt like it just hit the tones of people who, you know, my storytelling side of my ability to do songs and bringing that out, and then putting a visual to it. It was just cool, man, to be able to do that. And it brings me to the day. Tony Two Fingers now is on such a higher level than Fingerz or Finger Man could have ever been, because some of this artistry that I express you have to live a life in order to even get it out.
It's the Slap. We gon' hit you with Austin Traps Radio Podcast.
Let's get it.
Powered by the Slap God. C. Austin, the DJ.